Hello there, welcome back to Malmo. Champions League time continues. 1-0 victory in Copenhagen. Slender, we said, slender it is. It's the second leg today. We just had the one game in between, Ostersund's at home. A 4-1 victory. Very dramatic game. You can see there 2 own goals scored for us, but also 2 missed penalties by the main man, Rosenberg. So, 5.9. He actually played quite well to get a 5.9. If you play Football Manager this year, you'll know that a missed penalty is the cardinal sin, apparently, of the strike. Well, any player, actually, not just strikers. So we're going to keep faith with him today, but I'm a little bit concerned given he did not play well either against Copenhagen in the first leg. So he's perhaps on a little bit of a patch now. The game has realised that he's retiring and needs to wind him down. So, we've only got him left for this amount of games, or at least the extra Champions League games, if we get there. Or Europa League, of course, because if we fail to win in the playoff, I think we go straight into the Europa League group stages. So at least we have got some European football. We just want it to be proper European football in the Champions League. Let's face it. 1-0 we lead. Let's hope that we can continue in glory times, really. The Champions League group stages for a team like Malmo is the glory time. So I'll see you pitch side with the team in just a second. And there are your teams then. The only change is Bergson comes in for Gökhan Gül, who's suspended. Too many yellow cards in the qualifying stages so far. But Safari is back from injury, but not quite up to speed and fit enough to make the starting 11. So he starts from the bench. Let's see, as I say, if we can continue this fine football. Oh, great. It's sky blue against white. So good luck. Good luck. I mean, look at that. Good luck to you, because we're all in the same boat now. You just have to rely on names. Santander flicks on. I wonder if he's any fitter than last time. Certainly not. No, they're running him into the ground. Hurler's back, though, so that's good news. Windheim now on this right side. Rosenberg crosses Jezza. 2-0. Well, 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate. Doesn't really change the complexion of the time massively for Rosenberg. It's got nothing to do with it for Copenhagen, but it does give us the encouragement that we wanted, and Rosenberg is getting back amongst the goals. It's a nice ball across, and Jezza, simple finish for him. A corner now. Bengtsson collects. It's from Windheim's corner. Back to goal though. Mangala, Bashiru. You think you've got a man over, and then you realise it's actually one of their players. Windheim's ball in was pretty poor. Maybe he was confused by the clash of kits, and Santander deflects off him, and here come Copenhagen. Skov. Santander plays it straight through Dragowski in our goal, and it's 1-1 on the night, just 7 minutes in. A counter-attack, very fortunate counter-attack, played off Pavlovic's back, and he managed to keep the ball anyway. But they did break forward well, in fairness. I'd like to see, it is close, and it is at him. He should really be saving that, and we'll go straight into to more action now. Mangala now, Bashiru, oh, come on. This is how the first leg went. We took a lead, and then we just failed to really monopolise. They should probably have threatened the goal there far more than they did. A good start, and then a bad 10 minutes there. Free kick now. Rosenberg over it. Kept on the line by Jorinen in the goal. I thought he might have carried that in, but he wasn't. Jorinen now takes his time, kicks out, and we don't even challenge, and Pavlovic seems to link up well with Santander, but we managed to get back in and around him. Hurler now, first game back since his injury. Jezza, it's a fine finish. It's a smart finish from Yeremiev, and we have a bit of breathing space again. 3-1 on the night. 2-1 on the night. 3-1 on the aggregate. It's a lovely ball through by Hurler, in fairness. Oh, it's beautifully done. And this finish is smart. Right into that near side. Keeper no chance. 10 minutes or so to go to half-time, then a throw-in, and Santander hits the woodwork. He's definitely the danger man, isn't he? Although they're keeping him on the pitch. He's at 60%. He ain't going to make the game. Hurler now. And, we managed to retrieve. And here he is again, Lucas Hurler. He's been a big miss while he's been injured. Mangala, Windheim on this right side. Crosses Lucas Hurler. Very narrow angle. Hits the post and it goes out of play. And straight from that now, Jorinen's goal kick. Headed, down by Mangala, but only as far as Matthew. Skov going back towards his own goal, and Jorinen collects. goes long, looking for Santander, who wins it, of course he does, and we seem to allow that to get between us, and it seemed to be that we should have had that ball, but two defenders, Brawson there and assumedly Nielsen, letting that go between them, and we got away with one there. Zeka, we're tackling in dangerous areas, and Zeka flings it over the crossbar. There's a lot not to be happy about with the way we've played over these 2 legs, even though we have a decent enough lead with 45 minutes to play. There's big frustrations with the way we've allowed ourselves to be pushed back. We'll tell the boys to stay on the game here, because we can be guilty of judging ourselves too harshly against a Danish side, and let's face it, they are a better side than us. Far more quality, far more confidence in terms of making Champions League group stages on a regular basis, as opposed to ourselves. Pavlovic is down this left side, crosses. Zeka, right side now, Skov, and tipped over the crossbar by Dragowski. Early warning in this second half. They're not here just to make up the numbers. They're definitely going to push us, and it is difficult to qualify. It's why we need to boost our coefficients to make sure that we're on the seeded side of any draws that we go into, and hopefully we can boost the league's coefficient at some stage and see if we can get out of this qualification malarkey and end up as one of the better sides or better leagues ranked in Europe and get straight into at least the latter stages of the group stage. Santander is in again. And Dragowski makes the save, although it wasn't convincing. Santander surely got to go off. He's on 55%. If I had any tactical now, so I'd probably switch to aggressive tackling on the boy. But we're going to leave it as is. I think I'm toying with the idea of bringing on Strandberg, but I'm concerned about Bengtsson. We're going to take him off. He's not been particularly good. Safari's going to come on. Free kick now. And they're really stretching us wide. Bashkim crosses, headed away by Brawson, and only as far as Zeka, who punishes. And suddenly we've got half an hour to play, and we're at severe risk of going out, even though we've just played within ourselves a little bit too much in both legs. Bashkim there crosses. We win the ball, but the header there is appalling from Brawson, to be quite honest. He's got to put far more distance on that. We managed to bring the ball away. Hurler now. Jezza. I mean, this has to be a goal. Rosenberg. It's a terrible, terrible strike on goal from the experienced hitman. And we're going to make another change. We're going to bring Strandberg on for Rosenberg. And we're going to go with those 3 like that, are we? Yes, so we're going to go with those 3 in that shape. And hopefully we can survive the last 20 minutes, because they only need one more. Mangala, Hurler now. Plays it through, Jezza's in and scores. They don't need one more anymore. 3-2 on the night. This is far more comfortable than it ever should be. When you've won away, we should have done better away from home, really. And we certainly shouldn't be allowing them to score 2 goals. Hurler's ball through is great, and it's a nice, tidy finish from Jezza there. Nice loft on the finish to take the goalkeeper out. We're still going to make that change. And hopefully we can just sort of stroll away now with this. As though Bashiri just launches it into a terrible area, and Nielsen has to make a challenge there, which you don't want to be doing when you're on a card. The passing, to be quite honest, even though we've got the rating, you can see 76% versus 74%. We're passing better than Copenhagen, but we look like we're giving the ball away an awful lot from simple passing. Bashiri goes long now. Jezza will give chase, but Lufner collects. Cleared, and we'll have to start again with Brawson. Nielsen now goes back to Dragowski. He's got a lot of space out left for Safari, who can find Dykes on the left. And, I thought we might have used the flank there, but we don't. We do now, though, with Vinheim on the right side. Crosses. Jezza finishes into the top of the net. 4-2. Hopefully that breaks Copenhagen's spirit. With just 15 or so minutes to play, we have a 5-2 lead on aggregate. We need to concede 3 to stand to see Copenhagen stand any chance of putting us out. It's Jezza's 4th on the night, so if there's any man to thank for our position in this game as to be coming through it, that's the man. We're going to bring on Pettersson for Bashiri. Bashiri's just picked up a card, and we need to give Pettersson game time, and I'd like to think this game is now won, as Pavlovic sends Piros. And Dragowski makes a fine stop. You can see over the 2 legs, we've been on the bad side when it comes to goal scoring opportunities, clear cuts, as they edge us again. And here is Piros, and over the crossbar, not a clear cut that time, but again the chances are there. And if they could have kept Santander out, he's the man who's caused us a lot of problems. Corner ball now, Ankerson crosses, Piros heads on Johansson, and complete mess, and offside given against Skov, or Pavlovic in that case, and into stoppage time we'll move in the final minutes of the game now. Pettersson looks down the left side, but Skov collects, and Matthew should be able to clear. Zeka, Skov looks for Piros, he's released Piros, and Piros gets the goal. Far from happy with the performance, to be quite honest. If it wasn't for Jeremias 4 goals, we'd be on the reverse end of an absolute spanking here today. Piros there, Dragowski cannot stop him. So, he got himself well positioned, but it's a tidy finish. And 4-3 on the night, 5-3 on aggregate. I suppose the only thing that matters, just one whistle wide there, the only thing that matters is that we win the game or win the tie, and we go through into the Champions League group stages again. The riches that it brings are important. It funds us basically for many years. So we're through to the group stages. That draw is only tomorrow, so I'm going to let you stick around and we'll do that. We'll see who we get in the group stage. See you in a second. And welcome back. So here we are then, the Champions League group stage draw. We are 4th seeds again, so we're in the 4th pot. We're in with some big teams, but you can see our coefficient rating just 25.994. We've got a long way to go before we can be, pot 3. I mean, we need to double the coefficient to displace teams like Milan and Roma. Is that likely? Probably not. There's a lot of noise outside. I don't know if it's people wanting to see the draw. I feel like you should be able to, there's a lot of wasted space here, isn't there? But then this is all a lot of information just crammed into a very small space. This needs to probably be expandable just a bit. I'm just checking to see if I can expand it. I can't. So that's probably a feature for the old FM18. Be nice to see if this could be a bit dynamic and fit the size of what's available. Obviously a lot of groups in the Europa League, but in the Champions League there's only 8, so why not have a bit more visibility of what's going on here. Anyway, so let's get through the groups then. We'll draw out the first top seeds. You can see there, as you'd expect, Russia obviously the Russian Premier League is the league that we need to displace as the 8th best league, or such and such rather, to make sure that we get a top spot. Let's see now. There we go. So some interesting groups opening up. You don't want that one. You probably don't want that one. That one would be okay. Krasnodar, obviously the weakest of the top seeds. And here we go then. Let's see. I mean, that is tough. We don't want Barca, Man United or Lyon. Certainly not any of them altogether. That would be a disaster. So who will we get then? Would you mind Group A with Braga, Real and Roma? It wouldn't be a bad group. We don't get it though. Valerenga dispatched with Ajax. So well done to them. They're obviously trying to do something a bit like what we're doing here. Fenerbahce get Monaco, Schalke and Bilbao, and we find ourselves with Krasnodar, Manchester City and AC Milan. Yeah, so that's a tricky group. Tricky indeed. Let's just click through to get the fixtures put into our calendar, and then we'll be able to pick when we're coming back. There obviously is some glamour ties gone into that. Will we get out of the group? Probably not. We didn't last time. We gave it a darn good go, though. And I think what we'll do is we will come back for that Manchester City game. It is all about the Champions League, really. At this point, the Allsvenskan looks after itself. With 2 games in hand and a 23-point lead, I think we're safe. So we'll look at the Champions League with a little bit more focus at this point. So we'll do the Manchester City game. It's it's bound to be good, isn't it? 2 Sky Blue sides battling away. See if we can dispatch with the Manchester City side of glory. Probably they've got a few new players, which we'll have a look at next time. Do pop a like on there for me. Subscribe as well for far more Football Manager content coming very soon, and I'll see you again on that next video for Manchester City. Take care and goodbye.